Hey everyone, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Did y'all get a lot of snow? I didn't get too much snow, but yeah, kids were delayed. Their school was delayed. God bless you, Stella. God bless you, Jen. God bless you. I'm excited to talk about introverts versus extroverts. I'm excited about this one. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's go live on Instagram as well for a little bit. I'm gonna go on my Instagram. I'm gonna go on my Instagram. Let's get people over here. Sometimes, to God be the glory, Instagram is growing. And I feel like I need to, at times, remind people on Instagram, like, hey, don't forget, I'm on YouTube. And then they start coming over here. But I'm excited about this one. Do you already know? Do you already know if you're an extrovert or an introvert? If you don't know, I'm going to say stay on this live. I'm going to put here the website that it gives you the free um what is it called, like the free assessment to find out if you're an extrovert or introvert, because you could try and figure it out yourself. Am I an extrovert, am I an introvert? But this website is going to really help you out. It's called 16personalities.com. 16personalities.com. Oh, I put .com. Let's do it again, Priscilla. God bless you, Millie. .com. Check out that website. Hi, y'all. Everyone here on my Instagram. I'm actually live right now on my YouTube. Go to the link in my bio and I'll see you over there, because we're going to talk about introverts versus extroverts, and we're going to figure out who's better. Yeah, this is like a battle today. Who's better? So if you're here on my YouTube channel, let me know. Do you believe you're extrovert? Do you believe you're an introvert? I'm thinking like I hear the ding, 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 the bell when there's a boxing fight. Let's see who's better, extroverts or introverts. If you're interested to be in this conversation in Instagram, come follow me on my YouTube channel. Go to the link in my bio and I'll see you there. God bless you. I'm excited about this conversation. So if you're not 100% sure if you're an extrovert or introvert, check out that website I just sent you. It's called 16personalities.com. You're not just going to get the finding out if you're an introvert or extrovert. It also is going to give you different letters. And I really encourage my married couples to do this. Or maybe you're just dating. I encourage you to do 16personalities.com to see your personality. This is not like a what's that weird test? The Enneagram. I do not encourage you to do Enneagram. Google it and you'll see how it's based on a lot of witchcraft stuff. So no, I'm not an Enneagram 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, whatever numbers it is. No, I'm a child of God. But this 16 personalities test, what it is it tells you more about your personality type. Okay. But we're going to get into this today. So, anybody, I don't see anyone writing it in. Do you think you're an introvert? Do you think you're an extrovert? Yeah, the Enneagram is weird. Like, there's a lot of uh information on it where you see the actual person who made it say how they made it and how they got into a trance and all of that. I'm good. Whenever I hear the phrase trance, that's a good clear sign. This most likely was not from God. Yes. Jennifer, you think you're an introvert? I don't know. I don't know. Stella, introvert. Go ahead. What do you think you are? And then we're gonna get really into this. There is a video that someone who used teached it and she exposed it. Yeah. So this is not Enneagram. When we talk about introvert, extrovert, here's a fun fact. Carl Jung is the one who introduced the terms back in the day. Carl Jung was a famous psychologist. He did therapy as well back in the day. But he's the one that introduced the phrase introvert and extrovert. And he shared how one usually does dominate the other, right? And then when you're like really in the middle, Not a lot of people are, but when you're really just like in the middle, when you take this test and you see your percentage, that's why I like the test 16personalities.com shows you, because then it'll give you a percentage for you to see just how much you lean on one side. There are people that are like 50-50. That's the ambivert. That's the one that's both. But let's go into this. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna redo it. Millie, not sure. We'll take the test. Yes, and then have your husband take the test because it's really interesting to go, wow, God really just creates us different. So that's gonna be my intro today. I know on the slide, on the caratula that I made, the little flyer of today's Thoughtful Thursday, it says introvert versus extrovert. Who's better? So drum roll. Neither. Neither is better, ladies and gentlemen. God created you, He designed you. Maybe you are more of an introvert, maybe you are more of an extrovert. You are going to shine in whatever the Lord puts you in, especially in a relationship. I think it's just good for you to know which one you are, especially if you're in a relationship, to understand, like, okay, I think differently, they think differently. Okay, yeah, drum roll. So let's go through this. I'm going to go through some myths. Let's do myths first. Myths that people say. Let's start with the introverts. Myths that people say about introverts. Are you ready? Here's a myth. Introverts do not like people. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a myth. I am an introvert. I'm an introvert. When I took the test, I was 11 introvert, 6 extrovert. So I have my moments of extrovertedness, but I do lean more as an introvert. Okay. And it's a myth. It's not that I don't like people, but people really believe this, like, oh, you're an introvert. You must hate being around people. That is not true at all. I'll go into it more. Introverts, here's another myth. We are shy. That's not true. We manage our social energy more than extroverts. That is true. Here's another. Here's another myth about introverts. We don't make good leaders. I hope you all know that that's a lie. Introverts actually make really good leaders, and people like Bill Gates was an introvert. Abraham Lincoln was also an introvert. You could look these things up, like who were like famous leaders that were introverts. Introverts as leaders lead with deep focus and strong listening skills. Yeah. Another myth about introverts, we are always quiet. Well, clearly, I got a whole microphone in front of me. That's a myth. It's not that I'm always quiet. Yeah, it's like, oh, an introvert would never grab the mic. Oh no, an introvert, they hate people. They hate being around people. Introverts hardly talk. Those are all myths. So I'm glad you're here to watch this so we could break these myths. Let somebody know we are on because maybe they want more information about extrovert, introvert. Let's go to the extroverts, okay? Extroverts. Here's some myths about extroverts. They are always confident and outgoing. Extroverts are always confident and outgoing. That's a myth. Sometimes they do deal with their low confidence issues as well. Extroverts get anxious at things, right? Here's another myth about extroverts. They never need time alone. That's not true. Extroverts at time, you're going to see them like retreat, like, I'm tired. I want to spend some time alone right now. Here's another myth about extroverts. They are better at public speaking. Many people believe that extroverts are they're just born with it. They're just better at public speaking. But here's the thing about public speaking. Public speaking is a skill. You have to practice. You might need to take a public speaking class. You need to understand the art form, right? And just like any skill, anybody could get better at it. So introverts and extroverts have to practice their public speaking skills, right? What's another myth? They are superficial. Many people believe that extroverts are just superficial. They stay on the surface. Why is that? Extroverts, if you're an extrovert, listen up. You are better at small talk than introverts. Introverts are more deeper conversations. Tell me about life, what's been going on. Extroverts, it's not that extroverts can't do that. It's they're better at, isn't this weather crazy? Your day was good. Oh, that's great. That reminds me of this story. Extroverts are great at that. So if you know me, I'm more introverted. Tell me about your dad. Tell me about life. Let's go deeper. um, so yeah, extroverts, they do process their thoughts externally. Introverts, we process our thoughts internally. Here's another myth about extroverts. They always want to be the center of attention. That's a myth. Oh, look at them. They just have to be in the center of the attention. That's a myth. Extroverts do thrive on interaction, not necessarily attention. I'm going to say that again. I thought that was good when I looked that up. Extroverts do thrive on interaction, not necessarily attention. They're okay. It's like if you had to pick who's more comfortable being the center of attention, an introvert or extrovert, the extrovert would win. But do they need to be the center of attention all the time? No. I would say they need interaction. They're going to be talking to somebody. They're not going to go to a party or a family gathering and just stay there quiet the whole time. An extrovert's going to sit with someone, be like, "Hey, how do you like this? How you doing?" They know how to start conversations better. Okay. I have this book called Type Talk. It's pretty old. This is an old book. I was reading this in my master's program, and it speaks on the different personality styles. You're going to see different letters like ISTJ, ESFP. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to go off of that first letter, which is, are you a I? Are you a E? Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? So I'm going to read off certain things. And I really think if you hone into this section, you're going to know pretty well, are you an extrovert or an introvert, just by what I'm reading. Okay. So let's go over extroverts first. Are you ready, Millie? If you're still here, you might just figure it out. You might just figure it out with what I'm reading. Now, you might not necessarily agree to every statement I make. That's okay. Because no one it's very rare that someone's a hard extrovert. Remember what I said with the test, 16personalities.com, it'll show you like a ratio, right? Like me as an introvert, I might not be as introverted as another introvert, right? Me compared to another introvert, you might say, you're actually pretty extroverted. Or the other way around, I might look really, really reflective and quiet compared to another introvert because they're a little bit more talkative. We're going to get into it. So, if one or two things you don't agree with in this list of what I'm going to read about extroverts, you still might be an extrovert. You just don't agree with every single thing. A long time ago, I was an ISFJ. Yeah, I could see that. ISFJ. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later. Okay, extroverts tend to talk first, think later, and don't know what you'll say until you hear yourself say it. It's not uncommon for you to berate yourself with something like, "Oh, will I ever learn how to just stay quiet?" So, yes, extroverts do speak up a little bit quicker. Here's something else about extroverts: you know a lot of people and count many of them among your close friends. You like to include as many people as possible in your activities. That's an extrovert. Here's something else: you don't mind reading or having a conversation while the TV or the radio is on in the background. In fact, you may well be oblivious to these distractions. Extroverts do distractions different. They kind of like, oh, I didn't even notice. Renee Poe, what was the name of the book again? It's called Type Talk. Type Talk. There, I'm sure there's a newer edition. This is like 2012, 2011. It's old. It's an old one. Maybe I'm an extrovert, Jennifer wrote. Okay, you don't mind. Okay, wait. Next one. You are approachable and easily engaged by friends and strangers alike, though perhaps somewhat dominating in a conversation. Another one. Find phone calls to be welcome interruptions. You don't hesitate to pick up the phone whenever you have something to tell someone. Here's another one. Both. Type talk. Yes. Thank you, Stella. Here's another one. Find telephone conversations. Oh, no, I read that. You like going to parties and prefer to talk with many people instead of just a few. Your conversations aren't necessarily limited to those you already know, and you aren't beyond revealing relatively personal things to strangers. Extroverts are a little bit more open to be like, "Oh yeah, I went through the same thing last year," and they'll tell more details that are a bit more vulnerable. Find listening more difficult than talking. You don't like to give up the limelight and often get bored when you can't participate in a conversation. Do you ever feel bored when you can't participate in a conversation? You might be more extroverted. Okay. Need affirmation from friends. That's a big one for extroverts. You need affirmation from friends. You want to hear your friends say, "Yo, that was a good job. That was awesome what you did." So, need affirmation from friends and associates about who you are, what you do, how you look, and just about everything else. You may think you're doing a good job, but until you hear someone tell you, you don't truly believe it. Yeah, look at that. Jennifer just put up the link to the book on Amazon if you want to check it out. And then you're going to see different letters. So I would say check out this book, but also check out that website, 16personalities.com. I did the Myers Briggs test. That's the official title of it. Years ago in my school, in my master's program, we had to pay for it. And then I found this website and I did it and I got the same results. So do the free one. Don't pay for it. Do the free one. Okay, introverts, are you ready? Are you ready, introverts? We let the extroverts get a little bit of limelight. Now let's go to the introverts. All right. Introverts rehearse things before saying them and prefer that others would do the same. You often respond with, "I'll have to think about that," or "let me tell you later." I know I do that a lot. Like, I got to think about it. I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. That's a very introverted thing to do. Number two, enjoy the peace and quiet of having time to yourself. Oh, yes. You find your private time too easily invaded and tend to adapt by developing a high power of concentration that can shut out TV, noisy kids, or nearby conversations. You know how to just tune things out and focus on whatever it is that you need to focus on. That's a good introvert right there. You are perceived as a great listener. Do people tell you that? "Oh, I'm just so thankful because you're so good at listening. I feel like I could tell you whatever. You're just so perspective. Oh my gosh, I could just share with you and vent with you." That's usually because you're a good introvert. You're a good introvert. But let me finish the sentence. There's more to the sentence. You are perceived as a great listener, but feel that others take advantage of you. Have you ever felt like that? You might be an introvert. You have been called shy from time to time. Whether or not you agree, you may come across to others somewhat reserved and reflective. You might be introverted. You like to share special occasions with just one or a few other people, a few close friends. Here's a quick story about me and Jonathan, my husband. You're going to find out real quick who is who. The first year we got married, um, we lived in a very small apartment. Very small apartment. It was our first year. Very small apartment, and it's getting close to Thanksgiving. And I'm like, we're married now. I think it would be cool if we could host Thanksgiving with a few family friends, right? He goes into the more the merrier. Let's invite these cousins, these family members. And I'm like, okay, where are they going to sit? We didn't have the biggest table. We didn't have a lot of space. It was our first little tiny apartment. We just got married that year. And he's like, they could stand here. Some people could sit on the floor. Some could sit over here in the hallway. Some could sit over here. It's going to be so much fun. And I was almost like not getting a panic attack, but just overwhelmed of like, ¿Dónde yo voy a meter la gente? Where are we going to put these people? And it was during that year I started taking this class to go, "Oh, we just think differently." So, what do you guys think Pastor J is? Is Pastor J an introvert? Pastor J is not an introvert. And then also, it's interesting because when you include where a person comes from, that plays a part too, right? He's from New York. He's from living in small apartments with a whole gang of people in there, having a good time, being loud. So I think that also played a part too. So no, we did not have the big Thanksgiving dinner. We didn't. I was like, I'm not doing all this. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be hot. Yeah. Yeah. He's more extroverted. What's something else I could share with you? Introverts. This is a big, 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 huge thing about introverts. Okay. You need to recharge alone after you've spent time socializing with a group. The more intense the encounter, the greater the chance you'll feel drained afterwards. So let's say it's a whole weekend thing. You're out with friends, you're out with family, and you're having a good time. You're having a good time, you're having fun. But by that Sunday night, you're like, I'm done. Let's say Monday, that same group of people say, let's do this again next weekend. And you're like, I don't know. I'm okay. You're most likely an introvert. Again, it's not that you hate people, right? That's a myth. It's you need to recharge after a big group event, after a big women's retreat. Come on. And you're like, oh, why am I like, I don't really want to be with people right now because you need to recharge. And that's okay. Even Jesus practiced solitude. I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, even Jesus practiced solitude. He was with the crowd, he was ministering, he's with the disciples. Next thing you know, he got up and left. He went to go pray, practice solitude, just him and the Father, spend time alone. Sometimes you need that recharge. That's okay. Solitude and isolation are two different things. We'll get into that another time. Ooh, what's something else I could tell you about introverts? You were told by your parents to go outside and play with your friends when you were a child. Your parents probably worried about you because you like to be by yourself. You were okay being by yourself. Like, I'm okay. You don't want to go outside? I know you were outside yesterday, but you don't want to do it again? I'm okay. It's interesting because years ago, I know Jennifer knows this, years ago when I was a youth leader, some parents would share their huge concern about their teenagers. And, they just want to be left alone. There's times that they're just in their room and I'm just so worried. And I would ask questions like, okay, are they breaking any rules? No. Okay. Um, are they respectful? Yeah, yeah, they're respectful, but I'm just worried they need to go out. And not every kid is like that. Parents on here, not every kid is the kid that's going to sign up for the youth play at the church. It's not a demon. It's not that they're antisocial. It could be that they're just more introverted. And that's okay. And maybe they want to do more things behind the scenes. That's okay. Stop forcing your teenagers to take more parts at church. I'm going to go there. Let's be happy that they're coming to church. Let's be happy that they're hungry for the word. They want to get to church. They're interested in coming to Bible study, but they don't want a microphone. That's totally okay. That's totally okay. I think sometimes we compare our kids to the other kids in the church. Like, yeah, but so and so's in the dance team. And this one wants to join the worship team. This one's more social. What's up with my child? I don't know if they have fire of the Lord. Whoa, 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 whoa. Socializing is not a measuring stick of the anointing of God. Socializing the way this person socializes and how this person socializes, this is good. It's not, oh, that person, feels the Holy Spirit more. No, they just are more talkative. They're more charismatic in the way they worship. But that doesn't mean they're better. Yes, so as you could tell where I'm going, in our day and age, extroverts are a bit more glamorized. When we think of a go getter, we usually don't think of an introvert because our worldview has been shaped to think the person who looks very confident and speaks up and knows how to grab a microphone, that's the better person for the job. Not necessarily. I could share with you a whole list of CEOs and famous people and great leaders that were also introverts. So again, like I said in the beginning, there is no this one's better than that one. God created you to be an introvert. You be the best person you could be. Okay, you're still a child of God. Like it's not to now say introvert is now your new identity. It's not to say extrovert is now your new identity. But yes, Millie, she put, I tried with Angel to join the youth, but he is like, Mom, no, I'm okay. And he's probably fine. And look at that. He still comes to the church. He's still receiving. He still greets people. But like, let's say there was a person, and I'm just using this as an example. Let's say that there's a person that's like, no, he's supposed to be more involved. He should be taking parts by this time. If he doesn't want to, it's okay. Listen, I just think of when I was younger and I was a youth leader. Some parents, none of you here, but there were some parents that we got to be careful with the herd mentality. I know I'm getting into like parenting skills right now. The herd mentality is, well, if that person's doing this with their kid, I should too. Maybe it's not going to work out with your kid. Every kid has a different personality. That's why we're talking about this. Maybe they are the ones that are the actors, they're the ones that want to grab the microphone. Cool. But maybe if not that, they're the one that they're okay coming early to help turn on the lights. They're more behind the scenes. That's fine too. That's fine. Yeah, you don't want to force people. I knew parents that would force. And usually the outcome is then the daughter's son just stopped coming. I'll just be honest with you. And it took a while for them to come back. Teenage years is a very sensitive year frame, right? It's like, yo, praise God, you're even asking about Jesus. That like just stay there. You're just asking about Jesus. You want to read the Bible together. We don't have to make them anything. We don't have to make them more confident. Like, come on, grab a microphone. If that's for them, that's for them. That's gonna show up later. And you don't have to force it. It just happens. It just happens. Listen, I never in my life thought that I would be in the position that I am with a microphone. I used to be so nervous in front of people. After I would lead a worship set when I was younger, I would then go to my father's office and have a little bit of a panic attack because it's like, people are staring at me. When I would do auditions in my school to be, oh my gosh, it was horrible. I had such a stage fright. I had such a stage fright. Everyone's staring at you. You know, it's different in school. In church, everyone's singing along with you, right? But when you're doing like a school talent show, they're just listening and they're watching you. And ooh, you feel so exposed. And yeah, this like I said earlier about public speaking, it's a skill. You have to get better at it. You practice it, but it's not, well, this person is more of an extrovert. They should just learn how to do it. They should just know. No, it's still a skill. They just learn. They just learn how to do it better. But yeah, I'm glad we touched on this. You don't have to force your children, your teens. Come on, the youth are about to do a dance. You should join. The youth are about to do a play. You should join. Maybe that's not their space. They don't want the mic. They don't want to be in the front, but maybe they're like, I want to help edit the video. I want to help the social media team. I'm okay not having my face out there. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So we went over what's an extrovert, we went over what's an introvert. And you know what? You could have children take this test as well. I think they recommend 12 years and older to take the 16 personalities test. Why? Because usually younger than that, you're still developing your personality. You're still developing, right? Like I look at my kids and I'm still like, I don't know. She might be introverted. She might be extrovert. You don't know. There might be a switch that happens as they're getting older. Okay. There's something else I want to share with you. Let me share this with you. It's on page 112. And this book is so cool because it now tells us how we are when it comes to conflicts. Can you give me a few more minutes? Give me a few more minutes. How to resolve conflict as an extrovert. You ready? Extroverts stop, look, and listen. Extroverts always think they can talk their way through and out of most conflicts. The very thing they find most difficult is what may be needed most, listening to the other person's point of view. So if you are an extrovert, that's a quick resolving conflict tip. Stop, look, and listen. Listen to the other person's point of view. Sometimes extroverts feel like, I just got one more thing I need to say. I just got one more thing I need to say. And the best thing is to do is say what you need to say and then pause. Let the other person speak. The other person has something they need to say as well. Okay. Introverts, here's your tip for resolving conflict. Express yourself more. If you're an introvert, write that down. I need to express myself more. As difficult as it often is, and sometimes seemingly redundant, it still is imperative to tell your side of the story and maybe even tell it again until the other person has heard it. When conflict is concerned, a little overkill can help. Make sure you get a hearing. So then it could be interesting if you are a high introvert and you're married to a high extrovert. It's not to say that the relationship just can't work. No, it's just you're going to have to give each other signals like, I wasn't done yet. Let me finish what I had to say, right? That's the introvert. Like, wait, let me speak up. I got to share something else. The extrovert has to really restrain, like, okay, I do have another point I want to make, but I want to hear you out. Okay. Woo! You know what I learned? There's different types of introverts. And I wanted to share this because we do have more introverts here. So there's four different type of introverts. Which type of introvert are you? Tell me which one you think you are. There is the social introvert. This is the introvert that says no to parties. I'm good. They rather just stay home. You're more of the homebody. Again, it's not that you hate people. It's not that I'm never going to see you at a baby shower or a birthday party. You'll come here and there, but it's not a huge priority for you. You know how some people, they're always at the party. You could count on them. Cool. But you have some people that they're more like, I'd rather just stay home. Where is it? How long of a drive? I don't know. They rather just stay home. When they do socialize, they usually keep it to small groups. Like, yeah, we're going to go out to eat. These three friends, maybe these five friends, that's cool. That we're going out with 20 other people, you might do it as an introvert, but when you're done, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go just rest for a little bit. Jennifer's laughing. Yeah. Then you have the anxious introvert. You're staying home, but for a reason. It's not, I just love being home. It's, I'm nervous. I'm anxious. Now, maybe you don't know this, but introverts are more prone to anxiety because we process things inwardly more than externally, excuse me. So anxious introverts feel very self-conscious. It's almost resemblant to social anxiety. Almost, where you're like, did I say something stupid? Is everybody looking at me? What do I say next? Oh, that was dumb. Does that person like me? All those questions when you're in social interactions, that's social anxiety. That's social anxiety. Let's do another one. There's the thinking introvert. So if you're an introvert, it's cool to now find out what type of introvert you are. There's the thinking introvert where you're very pensive. You like to take time to I think I'm this one. You want to pause, not because you're bored, but you need a moment to like just process all the information you were just given in that conversation. You might not always have a response. You might not always have something to say. Like someone's sharing some information with you and you're just like, "Okay." And they might say you haven't no thought about that and you might not. You're just like, "No, I'm still processing it. I'm still thinking about it." You might be the thinking introvert. You self-reflect a lot. You pause a lot. You probably really enjoy praying. You know, there was something that I found. If I find it, I'm gonna send it to you. How introverts and extroverts are with their spiritual walk with the Lord. And it was saying how introverts are usually very into like going for walks, being with nature, appreciating nature and thanking the Lord. Like we're the ones that are walking like, wow, God, just thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for that beautiful tree. How nice is that tree, God? Thank you, Lord God, for the birds. That's usually more like a thinking introvert. We pray a little bit longer. Right? Extroverts are more like, oh, there's a group prayer. I'll go to the group prayer, right? The extrovert is like, let's go preach, let's go evangelize, let's do something together. There's a worship night all together. Let's do it together. Oh, I want to pray with a few brothers and sisters. It's about the group, it's about the community. Not that they can't do individual, but they rather, remember, it's where you lean. They rather show up to that Bible study. Oh, they love Connect group. They love the small groups. They're like, sign me up. Can I do another Connect group? Can I be part of the green and the yellow? And I want to do more. I want to be connected to more people. The introvert, after a small group, after a Bible study, after their Connect group, they sit there for a minute or two just to ponder on what they learned. They might want to read the scripture again. Okay. And then you have the restrained introvert. Yeah, green team. Then you have the restrained introvert. I'm almost done. The restrained introvert is interesting. That's the one that it just takes them longer to warm up. Have you ever felt like this? Like, I'm totally okay in a group of people. It's just in the beginning. I need to just like observe where everybody's at, observe the convo, then I'll jump in. You're probably a restrained introvert. It takes you a while to get going. It takes a while for you to warm up. You're more reserved. A group of people are talking, you're more quiet, but it's not that you're not engaged. You're listening. You're listening to what that person said, and you're like, huh, okay. You're listening to this other person, what they said. Then later, you're like, if I could say something, I would say blank. You're usually not the first person to speak, but you do speak. You're just restrained. I hope this was helpful. Does anyone now, maybe in the beginning, you were like, I'm not sure if I'm an extrovert or introvert. Now, going through all of this, which one do you think you are? So, yeah, I'm more of an introvert. I could have my moments of extrovert, but I'm more introverted. Tell me which one you think you are in the chat. And like we said in the beginning, it's not that one is better than the other. I just wanted to catch your eye of like, who's better? It's not that one is better than the other. God designs us in these ways. And then, there's life circumstances, right? We could go into a whole nature versus nurture kind of thing. Maybe you were raised in a huge family and you didn't feel like you could speak up. Like, there's so many different things that could have shaped you to be you, right? But if you are more introverted in a household of more extroverteds, wow, you must be drained a lot of the times. When you do Thanksgiving and Christmas and most of your family members are extroverts and they're like, ay, tú no habla, you don't talk, what's going on? And it's like, wait a minute, compared to how you talk, it looks like I don't talk enough because you don't be quiet. Introverts sometimes could feel like people are criticizing us, or just like, come on, you should be talking more, you should be doing more, you should be. And it's because sometimes that extrovert, they're such a strong extrovert, they expect you to see the world the way they see it. Let me see what else I could share with you. What extroverts and introverts what extroverts and introverts would do with free time. Can I read this one real quick? What extroverts and introverts would do with free time. Extroverts, city lights, metro tour, shopping malls, swim, hike, go on a car ride. They want to be with animals. They I don't get that one. It just says long purple skirt. I don't know what that means. Introverts, go sailing, take a walk, take a photo lesson, travel, go to the theater, meditate, visit a museum. I love museums. Visit a museum, study something, read a book. So I thought this would be helpful for you all. If you want to know more in depth about your personality type, I encourage you check out 16personalities.com. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Was this encouraging for anyone to just go, okay, I'm not weird. I'm just different. I'm just extroverted. I'm just introverted, right? Because you might be the extrovert in a family with a lot of introverts, and they might be like, oh my gosh, you always want to do things. You always want to go out. You don't know how to just stay home. And it's not that it's a bad thing. That's how you are. You want to go out. Let's go do things. Let's go pick up a friend. Let's go out to the mall. Vamos a janguear. Let's get out of here. Right. And if you're in a household of all introverts, you could look like the odd one out. And then reverse it. If you're the introvert in a house of all extroverts and they want to go out every Sunday after church, and then they want to go do something else, and let's go to this other concert, and let's go hang out, let's do a family vacation with 70 things on the itinerary list, and you're like, I just want to chill in my room, put on some music. I'm okay just going to a spa and getting a massage. Like, you're the introvert on the vacation is the person that doesn't have a strict itinerary list. You're like, sure, we could maybe do this and that, but the extrovert, it's like, well, who are we going to call? What are we going to do? It's okay. If you're an introvert, if you're an extrovert, that's the way the Lord designed you. Above all, you are a child of God. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not done so. Go ahead and press the bell so you could get notifications when we do more videos like this. And if you're interested in the merch, which you guys have been so awesome, getting the Get Preachy sweatshirt, the hat, the different things. Look, Stella just put it up there. I'll pin it for you. Maybe you're interested and getting something. Come in another month or two, my hubby and I, we have more ideas of like more t-shirt designs, and we want to do stuff too for the youth. Get some Get Preachy hoodies for the kiddos. I think that would be cool, right? Go ahead and check out shop.livingabundantlytv.com. I have the link here in my video now description. It'll take you straight over there to the shop. We have mugs now, we have cups. God has been so good. And don't forget, Immerse is like in 2 weeks, you guys. This is crazy. We start February 20th. We are in 262 Broadway, Newark, New Jersey. If you're in the area, if you're in the New York area, take the drive. Come down. We are expecting a mighty move of God. I don't know about you. Are you guys ready for Immerse? I don't know if I'm ready for Immerse. God is so good. I have someone wrote to me earlier today and said, I'm gonna take the drive. It's 2 hours away, but I'm gonna be there. I was like, praise God. And then a few weeks ago, someone wrote to me and said, me and my family member, we're coming from Florida. We want to be there. We feel led to be there. I was like, amen. Just get there early, right? Because seating is limited. You know, parking isn't the best, but I will let you all know doors should definitely be open by 7. We're going to try our best to start by 7:30, 7:45. Get to church. Come with your sneakers. Come comfy, y'all, because I think we're going to be, on the floor most of the time. God is going to move. To God be the glory. Each Immerse, God has done something powerful. And I'm just believing in my spirit because this is what I feel from the Lord. There's going to be a lot of miracles. There's going to be a lot of healing happening. So come with expectancy. Bring a friend, not even just a friend who's Christian. Bring a friend who's not Christian. Bring family members that are not Christian. Like, hey, come over. Let's hang out for a little bit home. And then at this time, we're going to go to church. So, yes, it's February 20th. We got Minister Alex. Dominion Fire is in the house. If you have Dominion Fire merch, let's wear our t-shirts that Thursday night. Or maybe you have the hoodie. Let's represent and show our support to Dominion Fire. Would you do that with me? That's going to be Thursday the 20th. I'm going to be up the 21st. That's Friday. Evangelist Claudia Morales. If you have not heard her preach, you are in for a treat. She's going to be up the 22nd. My cousin Justin will be leading out the worship on that Saturday. I'm just like so excited, y'all. And then the Sunday we have Ben Valejos with us. He's going to be preaching, and I think he's going to be worshiping a little bit too, because he's also a singer. So come comfortable, come ready to feel the presence of God. God is doing something so awesome this year. I'm sure some of you have already been feeling it, especially after 21-day fast. Woo, God was doing some stuff on that 21-day fast, right? For my church, I'll see you on Sunday. I hope to see you there. We start at 11 a.m. And if you're not in my church, get to your church. Get to your church. And I will see you on Monday Manna, 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll see you then. I pray you all have a great week. God bless you. Goodbye.